Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in the F2 cars at Canada. I'm Ben Raggan McConnell, and joining me today in the casters booth is the incredible Jess Games 95. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We got a weekend full of esports, and I'm really excited to carry this on with the Rwagnation League tonight.
Yep, it's going to be a very exciting weekend to say the least. So just in case you haven't been informed as to what the hell we're talking about, obviously you've got the most important thing first, you know, the RNL F2 races and then the RNL F1 race. And then tomorrow it's going to be non-stop action-packed. You've got the official Veloce Esports, not the Bahrain Grand Prix. And then you also got the F1 Virtual Grand Prix. So it's going to be a very exciting weekend, to say the least. But we are here in the F2 cars. We've already had a retirement. I don't know how that's happened. But Jess, who do you want to go aboard with for the hot lap?
Oh, hi. I don't know, but Pilota's looking quite quick at the moment, so let's go on board with him.
All right, well, he's making his way through into Sector 2 already. Got another DRS zone here. Obviously, you got the DRS zone on the home straight, which you can see on the map on the back there. But you've also got one here. This is the second of the three that we have. Brake hard at the 100 meter board and get yourself down the gears. In the F2 cars, the issue you've got is you've got so much weight and not enough aero that when it comes to taking those corners there, in the F1 cars, you'd be absolutely flying through there really quickly. But in these cars, you've got to take it quite steady, quite slow. We've lost another one. That's 3 drivers so far that have retired, not been able to put a time on the board. Who's going to get the 4 points? That's the major part. As soon as you get the fastest lap here, if you get pole, you get those easy 4 laps. 4 points, sorry, and that's that's a really good start going into the F2 weekend. Here we go then into the final chicane. Piloto looking like he's beaten everybody to it, although Beaker's hot on his heels. It's going to be a 1-2 for the Sauber drivers, potentially. If they can do this cleanly. Piloto's there. Oh, Beaker was right on his tail. Absinthe there, P3, Avia P4, and my son in P5. Happy days.
Yeah, Piloto doing an excellent job there, and Beaker, what can I say, impressing me so far in this F2 race, but so close to getting those 4 points, but Piloto just pipped into the post. But it's all about the race now. Well, we've got the first of the 2 races for the F2 race, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top.
I've just turned you up a little bit because I actually had you just a little bit too quiet. But here we go then. Piloto gets the 4 points for finishing on pole. Obviously his teammate is there right on the back of him. He doesn't get anything for it except for the fact he's going to be joining his teammate to start this Grand Prix off and hopefully hold back the remainder of the cars. Where you've got Prima Racing Absinthe there in P3. The 2 Carlin drivers, Aviator and Raggy Jr. in 4th and 5th with Meister there in 6th. Lando's Milkman in 7th. Tortoy in 8th. Badger in 9th with Overspeed rounding out the top 10. And the only other 2 drivers to actually get a time on the board was Marquez and Nixana. So fingers crossed they can deliver. But, I mean, Jess, you've seen the times. You've seen who got pole. Going into the first race, which is the feature race, the longer of the 2, who do you think is going to take the win? Who's going to get... In fact, give me your top 3. I want to hear the top 3. Let's hear it. Let's have it.
Oh, you're throwing me under the bus here. Right, I'm gonna go for... I'll be quick because it's starting soon. I think Piloto, still going to get P1.
Okay.
I'm going to put Absinthe P2 and I'm going to put Beaker P3. I think Absinthe is going to do better in this track. I think he's got better race pace, I think.
See, I'm kind of with you. I think Piloto's going to win. My question is whether or not Beaker is... if he's going to be able to keep his car alive and stay out of trouble. Because he very often gets involved in incidents that he really doesn't need to. I think ultimately that's probably what causes him to have so many issues overall. I actually think he could win these races a lot more often than he actually does if he was able to just somehow avoid all the cars. But right now, obviously, the Sauber Junior guys are in a position where they can take this 1-2 very easily. Absinthe is very much capable of being involved in that situation too, and obviously starting at the front of the second row just means, yeah, absolutely, he can really tear off and potentially get alongside Beaker going in towards turn 1. That's going to be the crucial bit. If Beaker can defend that, then he's got the rest of that lap secured, and as long as there's no contact with any of the wall, and maybe even keep it out of the wall of champions. I mean, we've already had a number of cars actually getting reset to... There's Lapis, Raven Duck, Tiger Racing, and Tiger Junior. They've all been reset to the track. My 1, 2, 3 then is going to be Piloto. I'm gonna have faith in Beaker. I think Beaker will get the P2. P3 though is kind of where I'm a little bit at a loss. I mean, I think my son can do it. but I'm kind of looking towards Lando's Milkman. He's the kind of driver you can rely on for the pace in the F2 cars and also the consistency. But again, just gets caught up in too much. Really needs to avoid these incidents if you can. And potentially, yeah, I'm going to put in P3. Right then, coming up to the end of the formation lap, Piloto obviously has led us all the way around, and I think going into this race, the start is going to be the most crucial bit. The start is going to be such a huge moment between the two Sabres. They need to make sure they get away cleanly and they don't have any in-team destruction. We're seeing this in the official F1, I think it was early last year, where the two Haas drivers came together. Or was that a year before? I know that Magnussen crashed out here, didn't he, coming out that final corner? And he hit the wall pretty hard.
That was in qualifying, I think, wasn't it? Almost certainly.
Yes, might have been.
I think it was Q2, and then people didn't do their laps. It was very frightening, actually. But anyway, we'll let you take the start.
All right, here we go then. Drivers are ready to go. The fans are ready. You can see the marshals on the right-hand side. They're all strapped in and ready to go. The lights are on. And it's go time here in Canada in the F2 feature race. Immediately, Piloto's got a beautiful start, but so has our Aviator. He's coming up for a move, looking for an opportunity on Absinthe. Absinthe is still there, but he's actually got a wheel-to-wheel alongside Beaker. 2-second penalty for a collision between Furball and Tiger Jr. Yellow flag in Sector 1. There's been a lot of accidents further down the field, but I think, other than the front... Oh, there's a lot of carnage further down. Overspeed's involved in everything. There's so many cars going wrong. Tiger Jr.'s had an issue. He's off into the wall. That is a lot of wing damage. Rwagnation Jr. he's fallen right down the road. He was P5.
Disqualified.
Oh, yeah, disqualification. That's not good. All right, well, Furball's managed to get past Lapis. He's working his way towards Rwagnation Jr. Rwagnation Jr. closing in on Horn Badger, who's also had a bit of an issue. I think he's got wing damage too. Oh, there's another car. That's Nixana. Oh, there was almost a collision there between Badger and Nixana, but Nixana just about stays out of the way of Badger. Or was that Badger staying out of the way of Nixana? We need to go to the front of the grid, though, because there's a lot of scrapping as Aviator and Absinthe swapping places. Aviator's up to P3 now. Absinthe trying to work his way, along with his teammate right behind him, back into this. Get himself back into P3 if he can. I'm not sure what he can do, though, as Aviator has got a little bit of a gap to P2. Oh, he's actually defending. Here we go. Here comes Absinthe. Side by side in the final chicane. Are they going to hold this through? No, he has to go off the track in order to avoid any further collision. And Aviator is very comfortably ahead in P3 now.
Yeah, they're very scrapping up at the front, and that's allowing Piloto just to pull away a little bit, and obviously setting the fastest lap so far. But we've got the two Sabres really starting to fight. Oh, there's contact, I think, from Absinthe, I think it was, or they had contact with Meister as well. So they might have got a bit of damage there. Actually, no, they haven't. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars already in the pits. They've had damage of some sort. Happers has already had some damage as well, so she's gone into the pit lane. But yeah, there's so much carnage in these F2 races. But we've got good balances of great battles happening right here and right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
Now, the question is whether Beaker is going to try and pass Piloto soon. I mean, he's just within that DRS range. As it stands in the F2 cars, 9 tenths is a very large gap because you just do not get the closing pace that you need to. So, Beaker's got a lot to do. Not a lot of time to do it in. Still 8 laps to go. And we're about to start the DRS lap as we start into lap 3. Absinthe is much closer to Aviator, so when the DRS becomes available, Absinthe will be in with a good chance. Meister's kind of hanging in there on the back of these drivers. If Meister can close in on his teammate... Oh, there was contact! Oh, that's a big slam into the wall. Absinthe, he's lucky to still be alive after that one. That is a very damaged left front wing. He's going to have some serious troubles. We're trying to navigate around the track for that one. Beaker's actually closed in a little bit, but Meister is now outside of the DRS on Aviator. There's going to be a lot of trouble for him to try and keep himself in with a running for a podium position. Aviator getting a time penalty, though. That will help Meister quite a considerable amount, as he's within that gap currently. Absinthe falling further and further behind due to that wing damage. Will definitely need a trip to the pits, as Tortor's coming up to the back of him now, looking for a little gap. Oh, there was a moment. They had a little bit of a kiss there. The wheels did touch, but that was it. Nothing further. DRS available for both of these drivers, but Absinthe just doesn't have the aerodynamical grip to keep his car involved in this. Tortor's gone for a dive. It's going to send Absinthe off the track, and I think there's not a lot that could have happened there, but Tortor's got the move done anyway. Very well done there to avoid collision.
Yeah, definitely. I think Absinthe had to let Torsa through for that moment in time, because otherwise Absinthe was just going to lose so much downforce and he's going to hold Torsa up, and that means he's not going to battle the likes of Milkman and Maester up in front. So, yeah, Absinthe's done the right thing there. He's going to go into the pits, have a fresh front wing, and carry on for 7 laps as well. And he was battling really hard. Weird at all. Oh, he's still going. I thought he was going to the pits. He's still going, look. So I'm guessing he wants a challenge, and they're going crazy. They're going side by side right now. Let's see if Torta can hold on. I think he just about holds on. But I don't know how Absinthe is doing this, actually. And we've got Raven Duck beside us as well. Raven Duck's got to be careful he doesn't get involved in any contact either, because, well, I wonder if Raven Duck actually knows about the front wing damage that Absinthe has got. Probably not. So, he's a bit too further back at the moment. Oh, they go side by side once again. Yep, I think Raven Duck has got the move done. So, yeah, Absinthe is dropping down as we speak. But, Absinthe getting a time penalty. That's not what he wants. But that's allowing Tortor to really start to close in on these other guys. And I guess if he held up in that traffic earlier, that would have not helped him.
No, definitely not. I'm seeing Badgers on the super soft tyres. He's got 6 laps to do these on, so they might be okay to make it to the end. And obviously with these being a 25% race, it does get scaled down. So what Malsey does sound, it's only 6 laps. They do very much get worn down pretty quickly. Beaker still hanging in for the DRS on Piloto, but that gap is sort of changing around quite drastically. Who is that? Lapis has retired. That's the Wall of Champions. That's a sad time for Lapis. We are actually seeing the car there. There's another car there merged in with him as well. That's Beaker. Oh, there's more contact.
Oh, Beaker's out.
My game has crashed, I think.
Ah.
Yes. The game realised it needed a sensor button and has decided that the game needed to crash in order to protect itself.
That's bad time. That's bad. That is really bad timing.
Alright, well, bear with me 1 second whilst I get the game reloaded again.
Shall I do a bit of Radio RNL whilst you get your game going?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, welcome to Radio RNL, everybody, whilst we get Raggy's game working. But the gap is still increasing up front, but we got Torta really fighting with Aviator right now. Torta is up into 3rd place right now, which is brilliant stuff from him. You know, I think there's a lot of people that got caught up like Beaker, so Torta was able to capitalise on that. He's 3.2 seconds behind Landers Milkman now, so I think there was a few other people that got caught in that, because there was a few people who were dropping down. I did see someone cut the circuit. I think that was Absinthe again, or Raven Duck. They're still going side by side once again. Going into the same straight, actually, into turn 9 and 10. It might have touched wheels a little bit there as Raven Duck just gets past there. I think Raven Duck has been forced off the track. Oh, he's struggling. Oh, Raven Duck's gone off and he's had damage now. So, he's doing a little bit of donuts. So unfortunately, you can't see it. But, yeah. So Raven Duck is now dropped down to 8th place right now. Maester's now got ahead of him right now. I think Maester's got a bit of damage as well. So quite a lot of people got damage, and Raven Duck's now out of the session. So retired, I mean. So we've lost 4 cars in this Grand Prix so far. Maester and Aviator have just pitted. And are you back, Ben?
I am back. I can see things again. Life is good. Yeah, I can see a lot of DNFs now. Raven Duck, sadly DNF, like you said. Lapis is obviously DNF. We saw that mega crash before the game crashed. To see exactly what happened. Raven Duck is he was doing well as well. That's the thing. He was up, what was it, P7 I think, when at the time of when he crashed. And it's a real sad time to see him sadly lose out. But everyone else still going. 4 laps to go. Piloto's still leading, and Beaker joined him. Has joined Raven Duck, in the DNF zone due to that mega crash.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to get less DNFs than that, but we actually got more. But obviously, Canada is a track that not many people like. I like it because it's quite flowing on the wheel. But anyway, so Maester. Maester basically was trying to do the overcut on Furball. Oh, Furball, I think, has been pushed off again. So Furball's got some more damage there. And I'm actually going to see if he's got damage. Let me have a look. Oh, no, but it's fine. He got away with that. That was lucky from Furball, but he's now down in 12th place. We've got Orn Badger in 13th. He's going into the pits right now. Everybody else is running relatively clean, but there's no battles that we're seeing right up front. They're starting to fall away now due to the damage that's been caused, and quite a lot of people are going to pit. The gap between the top 2 now, 8.8 seconds, and the gap between Torta and Lando is 3.5 seconds. So we may see some battles towards the end, but at the moment it's just completely calm in this race.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching Furball. It looked like he just spanned the rears a bit too much as he shifted into gear 2, and that caused him to lose control of the car. Maester actually was nowhere near him at the time of when Furball went off towards the grass. It was a shame that happened. That could have been a moment there, but Nixana still has the chance to bring himself into the points position as he's only 1.6 off the back of Maester. Lando's Muttman having a penalty. Oh, maybe he's P2. I did call out that he has an opportunity, and I did say if Beaker could avoid Trouble, there was a chance for him to get on the podium, but it looks like Trouble found him. And sadly, yeah, he's DNF. So my prediction for a top 3 has been slightly altered as a result of that. Marquez getting a timed penalty as well, but currently sat P8 with actually a nice little battle going on with him and Aviator. It was two tenths. It looks like Aviator just slipped on by and is now up in a P7. 11.3 seconds is the gap between Aviator and No Speed. So there's going to be a need for some serious pace if he wants to try and close in over the next 2 laps. So I think 11 seconds might be a little bit too much to ask.
Yeah, F1 they could possibly do it, whereas F2, as you were saying earlier, even 9 tenths was too much. So no, I think Aviator's probably going to stay 7th unless he gets penalties. And speaking of penalties, Tiger Racing has just got another penalty added to his name, and looks like your son's doing well as he's gone past Marquez. I can't remember which car it is. I still need to get oh, Carlin, that's it, Carlin. He's on the right hand side of my screen. What are you on about, Jess? Anyway, he's up into 8th place now, doing a stellar job, but at the moment, as it stands, because obviously the grid gets reversed from the top 8, he will be on pole position. So I think he wants to stay in that 8th place to try and get a good start in the race.
Is that Toto? Toto's lost it, P3, and he's lost it. He's now down into P4 as a result. He's got wing damage on the right side, so any left-hand turn will become quite difficult for him. He's got Tiger Racing coming up to the back of him now. Toto's going to be in some serious trouble without that wing to help him along, especially in the area of the track he's just gone through there. That chicane will be very difficult to navigate. There's another area, although Joe also has the same problem. He's got no end plates on either side, so he's doing well to stay in at P5 considering the damage, and now this is the bit where it'll work better for him. If he can get into the DRS, which he has done on Toto, he should be able to be like a bullet down the back straight. It's just whether or not he can stop that bullet in time to be able to make it through the final chicane. Opportunities are arising for Joe. The pace is starting to come in for him. Hit that curb just nicely. That's it. That's the exit he needed. Now the wing open, closing even more. This is a real battle for P4 here. I don't think either of them have got any penalties. I've not seen them myself, but obviously I did miss a fair bit of the race. So let's see as we on the second to last lap, can Toto hold Joe back?
Oh, it's going to be tough, but in F2 races we've seen in the Rwagnation League, we've seen it's be incredibly close and tight. It always goes to the last lap pretty much. So I think I can see that here today. I think Tiger Racing, I know, has the pace as well. So surely he'll probably want to be on the attack on the final lap. So Toto doesn't have any room to respond, really. Oh.
Yeah, well held there from Joe. He almost lost the rear. Caught it quite nicely. A little bit of a wiggle to try and find the grip. He found it, and now he's a little bit outside the DRS, but he's got DRS here to help him bring himself back in. I think he might have just made it. Oh, it's just on the limit. If he can just be that little bit faster. Oh, he's in. All right, brilliant. He was just in time. The DRS detection zone was under the bridge, which he's obviously gone past. He was under the 8 tenths, so he does now have DRS onto Toto. Not going to be able to attack just yet, though. He's going to have to line it up as he comes towards the home straight. But I think, given the fact that we are now on the final lap, we are going to have his last-ditch attempt is going to come up very soon.
Yep, exactly. He doesn't have very long right now, and he's not choosing to use the DRS at the moment because he's so far back in these F2 cars due to the turning you've got to put into these cars. And Nixana's had another off. And I think it's either sector 3.
Oh, Marquez.
No, Marquez is out as well. So I think we lost. I think he had a collision with Nixana. So yes, he did. So that's what happened there. So Nixana has got damage, but I'm still riding on board with Tiger Racing and Toto as well. I'm seeing where Pelota is. No, he's not. He's going to turn 10, but Tiger Racing is looking very, very racy. Going through this back straight. He's going to get the try and get the inside, but he backs out for now. He might try going into the DRS straight pretty soon, but the entry speed, he's looking really promising for Joe, so he's going to try once again going into this little hairpin. They're keeping wheel to wheel here. Clean racing. Oh, Tiger Racing has cut the corner there, but luckily it was just a warning from Tiger Racing there. He's got past, but I think he might need to let Toto through. Yeah. Nope, they're still... Yeah, I think he has. So, and Pelota has won the the race. So he's got 25 points to his name, I believe. And Lando's Milkman's going to come P2 and Absinthe P3.
Joe's not got DRS. He had to give that back. He got forced off the track because there was no room to go, and he obviously doesn't have the grip to do it with, so he had to go off the track. Did do an illegal overtake technically, but he has the run here. Has he potentially got this? No. I think it's just a bit too far, but Toto is going to cross the line P4, and Joe will finish P5. Aviator will be the next car to make it to the line, but he has got a few penalties to his name, and I don't know if Overspeed does. So Overspeed might actually get P6 here. I've just seen Aviator take a little bit of a clip to the wall. He's all good other than that. Here we come then. Aviator's crossed the line. Has Overspeed got less penalties? No, he does not. He will stay P7. Raggy Jr., my lad, jumps up to P7 now, and Meister finishes P9. Furball's a bit too far back to capitalise on any penalties, but he does get a fast lap, does Meister. Very well done to him. Here comes Furball, and last but not least, Nixana to cross the line and take 11th place. Didn't expect to see the 1, 2, 3 looking like that.
I was not. I think the only one we both got right was Piloto in P1. So, I was close to putting Absinthe in P3, but I put Absinthe in P2 as well. So, yeah, we both got it completely wrong. But just goes to show that the F2 race, anything can happen. You can't just predict like that, because there could be all sorts of carnage into turn 1 and in a few laps as well. And particularly in the next race, it's going to be even more interesting, as Overspeed, he finished in 8th place. He's going to be on pole position with Raggy Jr. alongside in 2nd place. But everyone who is outside the top 8, they'll be starting where they finish. So whoever finished in P9 will start in P9. And there we go. Piloto is on the top step. Can he continue that momentum, Ben, and into the weekend so he can win the overall weekend?
I'll be honest with you, he is my favourite in terms of who I think is going to make it to the top step over the whole weekend. He's always got the pace every time we come to these F2 cars. He's always the one who you can rely on for the consistency. The only thing that really lets him down is his network connection. Right now, he's taken the 25 points at the end of the feature race. He's obviously got the 4 points from the qualifying, so he gets that towards his situation right now. And as we look at the weekend results, you can see the gap is pretty substantial between P1 and P2. So Landers Milkman is in P2, obviously with 18 points. Absinthe in 3rd with 15. Toto 4th. Tiger Racing 5th. Aviator 6th. Ragga Jr. 7th. Overspeed 8th with Meister in 9th. Furball in 10th. Nixana obviously getting best of the rest, but doesn't get any points. And then your remaining cars were Horn Badger. He was the only other person to finish, as we lost Marquez, Raven Duck, Beaker, Lapis, and Tiger Jr. Obviously, that was just the feature race. We are now moving into the sprint race, as that is a little bit shorter. I think in total we have around about 6 laps, 7 laps, I think it is. So obviously these guys are going to go again. They're going to have all the ability to properly attack each other. But again, in the sprint race, we have a reverse top 8. So the top 8 flip and reverse it. Whoever was P8 will now be P1 and vice versa. And so there is an opportunity to get some solid points. It does promote more active racing. It also promotes the opportunities for more dramas and collisions, especially as we see the Wall of Champions being a problem for them. Fingers crossed we can not have a game crash this time. That would be great. And we might actually have be able to see the whole race.
Well, I'm going to touch wood so you don't get your game crash. There we go. That's sorted. That's out the way.
But
yeah, the Wall of Champions has hit quite a few people tonight. Even I, when I race on this game, even in the F1 cars, find the Wall of Champions tricky. So I just hope that they had the last race to get used to the track. So I'm hoping the Wall of Champions won't be hit that much, because otherwise the teams are going to have some very expensive bills going into the end of the weekend, the next weekend in France. And is it just me and we got one more driver? Yes, we have. We got Nursa, who has just joined, so he's going to start at the back. And
well, we gained one, lost one, because Badger's game crashed as we transitioned into the race. And so if you look in P12, it doesn't exist. So we still have 17 drivers, despite losing Badger. What we'll do, just for sheer bants, is we will keep the points together. So whatever points Badger gained whilst he was in that last race, we will merge them with Noosa if Noosa gets any, although I think Badger was outside of the points, if I remember correctly.
I can't remember.
If it's P12, he has to have done, yeah.
Yeah.
There are no points to really carry over.
No, not really. So he's starting from scratch, but I'm guessing that's what he wants anyway. So Yeah, so we've got Overspeed in first, Raggy Jr. in second, Aviator third, Joe in fourth, Torta fifth, Absent sixth, Landon Milkman seven, and our pole sitter Piloto is in P8. Now, in the last few races, the one who won the first race didn't necessarily have to win the next race or even come P2 to actually win the whole weekend. As long as you score some very good points overall in the second race, you should be fine to win the weekend anyway. And he got pole position, so it was an extra 4 points. So ideally, he needs to probably finish third as long as his rivals are behind him. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that one because we may see a surprise or two on who might win the overall weekend. We'll have to wait and see as everyone is about to make to the grid to start the second race of the evening then.
Indeed, I'm looking at the front row. You got Overspeed Raggy Jr., my son. Can he get the dive up towards turn 1? Make sure he gets round Overspeed. Ideally, you want to be on the outside for turn 1 because you got the inside for turn 2, which we all know is where all of the action happens. Here we go then. Lights are on for the final time in the F2 cars. It's going to be Overspeed taking us away as soon as they disappear, unless he has a terrible start, which we'll find out right now. And away we go. As you can see, Overspeed gets a pretty solid start. Immediately, Raggy Jr. gets involved as well. Aviator, the top 3, just absolutely skyrocketing it off, and immediately we're seeing contact. Absinthe just ran into the back of Tiger Jr. He does get a penalty as a result. Furball in the same boat. Joe sadly gets penalty as well because he got sent into the back of Piloto, I believe that was. Coming back onto the track. Now let's have a look further down the field then. Has Joe been able to recover? He has. Marquez is there as well. He's also got a penalty. That's for colliding into Lapis. Piloto on the back of Tiger Jr. That is really not going to help him if he wants to secure these points and secure this weekend. He's already looking for moves on Tiger Jr. He's going to have to wait a little bit unless he can get the exit of Dreams here. Tiger Jr. is in trouble. Yellow flag. Lots of carnage. That is Raven Duck who's been rotated off into the wall. Wing damage for days on his car. But looking at the front of the grid, Aviator is behind his teammate, who's currently still in the same position as before in P2. And we lose Raven Duck. And Joe.
In the space of one corner. That's very interesting. But yeah, Overspeed is doing very well to hold these two back. Really keeping under the pressure right now. But we got Torto on the back as well of Aviator as well. That's probably going to relieve the pressure on Raggy Jr. It's going to be 3 wide potentially going into this final chicane. And I think, Aviator's losing a bit of speed. Just a little bit there. Torto is trying his best as well. This is very, very close racing here in the Rwagnation League. It is great to see, and I think we still have someone going side by side. Is Lando's Milkman. He's touching Torto a little bit. Is Lando's Milkman going to get the jump on Torto? Yes, he is. He's up into 4th place. This is going to work out well for him. He finished P2 in the first race, whereas Piloto's in 12th. Oh, Torto's dropped it.
Nixana's in there. No, Nixana actually just pushed Toto off onto the grass and managed to force his way through into P5. It was very aggressive, but relatively clean as Toto's trying to send it back down the inside of Nixana. And there's also a moment there with Absinthe getting involved too, trying to really push his way into it. We're not on to lap 3 just yet, so there's no DRS, but Toto is in all kinds of trouble right now as Absinthe is sizing up the outside overtake. It's not going to be there and done because the inside line is very much occupied by Toto. He's going to try and keep himself in this. Aviator has worked his way to the back of his teammate. Now we're going to see who is faster out of the two. There was a little bit of a kiss there from Aviator into the back of my son, so you better watch out as Rag Jr. is trying to get onto the back of Overspeed and also utilize this toe. We're not yet in a lap where the DRS is available, but the timings right now suggest that the activity is going to become very lively later on. There's a bit of a weaving down the back straight as Rag Jr. Oh, he's got into the back of him. That's definite wing damage there on the Carlin driver. Even on these super soft tyres, he's not going to be able to overcome that. He's now going to have real problems trying to secure any sort of lap time. You can see the left end plate has gone. They are going side by side of the two Carlin drivers. Meister has binned it into the Wall of Champions.
Yep, another victim has caused the Wall of Champions to have a really hefty bill right now, and Mace is one of them. What a shame. I mean, he was running so well as well, but that now he's out of the race. Nurse gained some time penalties, but he's up into P9, so his race is pretty good as well. I'm just seeing where Paul Badger is nowhere to be seen, so yeah, he can't get back in the session. Absinthe is trying to get past Torts. A little bit of a swerve from Absinthe there, trying to cover off Torts' slipstream a little bit there. You don't want to get any slipstream at all. You can see the battle up front though. That's where we want to pay particular attention. As Nick Zana's on the back of this. Now Nick Zana's been involved in lots of spinning so far in this event, in the first race. He's got to keep it consistent. Oh, this is very tight for Raggy Jr. and Aviator up front though. This is absolutely intense. Raggy Jr. is doing very well to hold on to his teammate. I mean, him being P2 has really worked wonders for him right now. I'm going to jump onto him right now as Aviator's going to try his best. I think he backs off a little bit. Overspeed might be under pressure as well. Absinthe has been passed by Torta. He's got a penalty as well.
Oh, they're going for it.
They are. His battle's going on behind as well. We'll see. Aviator's going to try and dive it. Oh, it's Raggy Jr. almost went off the... Oh, no, someone went off the circuit. I wasn't sure if it's Raggy Jr. or Aviator. And Beaker's out of the race, but let's not pay attention to that right now because we still got more battles going ahead right now as Overspeed's still in the lead. And Ixana's now up into third place. Ixana capitalised on Aviator's mistakes then.
Yeah, he just lost it on the exit. That was all it was. A little bit of a kick out, and that immediately just dropped him down a place. And that's why Lando's Milkman is so much closer than he was before. Overspeed is in some serious trouble. He's done a very good job of maintaining raw pace throughout here, but a little bit of a nudge almost from the Carlin driver into the back of Univirtuosi guy. And Overspeed is currently doing such a good job of just holding them back. It keeps seeming to look in here as the drivers are battling with each other to hold each other back unnecessarily. Raggy Jr. now has the opportunity. DRS and the gap is so close now. The tyres will start to wear away soon, but look at this, he's already got the pace and he's not even yet got to the DRS activation line. There it is, and now off he goes, charging down the back straight, looking for a moment to get through. I think he's fully ahead. Yes, he is. Overspeed falls to P2, and immediately we're going to see if anyone else can push their way forwards.
Brilliant move from Raggy Jr. Does descend now. Oh, and someone's gone off his Aviator, Raggy Jr.'s teammate. So he's lost a little bit there. So that's a bit of a shame. But Overspeed's going to try for the move once again. He backs off a little bit more. He is lagging on my screen, so I can't tell if he's making a move or not. But he hasn't made the move. So Raggy Jr. stays ahead for now. Overspeed's not giving up. He was started on pole. I think Raggy Jr. Oh, that was contact for the both of them. Raggy Jr. spun. He's now down into fifth, now sixth place. He's got contact again. Huge contact. Huge contact. Absinthe's retired as well, and Raggy Jr.'s not having it whatsoever. He's left the session. I'm guessing he doesn't want to be involved in any more contact right now. I'm guessing we put the commentator's curse on your son then. Oh my word. And Overspeed's out as well. What happened to him? Did he get caught up?
I think that was a voluntary retirement, that one. I think he gave up at that point. There was a big contact between Overspeed and Raggy Jr., and that ended up resulting in Raggy Jr.'s car end up in a wall. Raggy Jr. is still P7. He's still got a chance for some points, although, like you said, he's left. Oh, Toto had a bit of a moment there with Nick Sanders. Allowed Aviator to just cruise on through now. He's going to be right there and alongside, and that's allowed... oh, actually, they're staying side by side. Absinthe is... Aviator's still pushing through into P3 now, but the gap between the top two is just separated over a second. That's going to really cause some serious issues for Nixana. He's already under attack from Avia, who just takes such a better line through there. Avia gets covered over by Nixana, who's also got DRS somehow. I don't know how he's managed to achieve that. Here comes Avia for a send. Nope. Saw an opportunity, decided not now, not yet. Still got a lap and a bit to go. Can I do it later?
Yeah, it is not over by any way, shape or form or imagination. Nixana in P2 is just insane, but Aviator, he's going to do his best once again. He's fought back. He had damage earlier on, and he's now still in P3. I mean, just goes to show in any league race, never give up, because you're gonna gain lots of positives, just like what Aviator's doing. He's on the home straight, or the back straight at the moment. He's got a good run into this chicane, and he's I think the same thing that happened to Joe earlier on. Someone was forced off the circuit. I think the position has to be back. I think yes, he has. Oh my word! All this fun, all this contact. Ixana and Aviator, they've gone off. Torto's lost it as well. Piloto's back in this as well. Somehow Piloto's in P3 again, so the overall weekend win could still be in Piloto's hands due to the extra 4 points. I mean, that's insane. That is insane if that happens. But Lando's Milkman has got a bit of breathing space right now. He's got Nixana in P3. Actually, no, he hasn't got breathing space. It's Piloto. Oh no, there's more contact. I don't know who spun there.
That was
Nusa. Yeah. So that's Torta back in for what is going on right now. There's another move going to be made by Nixana, and Nixana just holds on to P2 for now. But Piloto really wants that weekend win, and he's going to do whatever it takes.
So So as it stands right now, Piloto is probably going to take the overall weekend win, although Landers Milman is doing everything he can to make sure that doesn't happen, and Nick Sander's assisting that a little bit by holding Piloto back. If there is any contact and any of these drivers DNF, then that Lapis will be in with a chance for points. So despite having issues off the get-go from all the from the contact that was received, there's an opportunity here for Lapis to potentially secure a point, although we need to watch out for Nick Sander now, who's leading away from Piloto, although Landers Milman is leading the entire race as it stands. Piloto sees an opportunity, realizes this exit is so important, which is why he's going for the tight line through there to make sure he gets the better exit. Nick Sander is in real trouble. Expect a lot of defensive driving here. Piloto knows exactly what is required. Here we go then with the DRS wide open. Is he going to be able to send it? Nick Sander's going to have to just sit there. There's not a lot he can do, and the pace is just phenomenal from Piloto. Nick Sander's going to have to come up with some crazy send, and I don't think he can get the line maybe. Oh, he's got a penalty as well to assist that. That's made it even worse, and Piloto will take a solid P2. Nick Sander will come up to the line for P3. Toto will take P4 after. Oh, he's taking P3. Snatched it away from Nick Sander. Beautiful stuff on that final corner. I did not expect it to be so tight between them, but it was. Fairball coming up then for P7. Penalties taking a factor here may result in Fairball potentially staying exactly where he is. I don't think Noosa had that many. I did see a 10-second penalty. I don't know if it was Noosa's or not. I know Overspeed had one.
Yeah.
No, he's not jumped him, so that's staying where it is. It was a 10-second on Noosa. Marquez is right here with Raggy Jr. right on his backside as well. DRS wide open then. If Marquez has penalties, Raggy Jr. might still score. Yes, he does. That's twice I've seen him do that now. He is very consistent. Manages to secure a good place jump or two by just being able to keep it that little bit cleaner. So well done, Raggy Jr. getting up into P8. That was the final points position, I believe, in the sprint race. But we'll see in just a second, because we're about to look at the overview for the whole weekend. Landers Milman then took the race at the end of that race, at the end of that Grand Prix. Piloto takes P2, Toto takes P3, Nick Sander in 4th, Aviator 5th, Noosa 6th, Verbal 7th, Reg Jr. 8th, Marquez 9th, Tiger Jr. in 10th, and Lapis in 11th. Then your DNFs were Overspeed, Absinthe, Beaker, Meister, Raven Duck, and Tiger Racing. And the overall weekend win goes to Piloto by quite a large margin. Yes, Landers Milman did finish in P2 in the first race and did get the win in the second race. It's just not enough due to the fact of how many points you get in the first round and the 4 additional points for qualifying. Whoa, what a Grand Prix that was. And it's not even over yet. We do move on to the F1 cars shortly after this. So don't go anywhere. We're going to play some beautiful music and we'll see you in a